Welcome to my channel Crazy to Learn. Today we will discuss some MCQs from chapter Gravitation. This is its second part. If you till now did not watch its first part, then link given in my description, you can watch there. So let's start its second part. Question is, if small g is the acceleration due to gravity at Earth's surface and small r is the radius of the Earth, the escape velocity for the body to escape over Earth's gravitational field. So we already know what is the escape velocity for the Earth and what is the formula. What is the formula for the escape velocity of the Earth? The escape velocity formula VE is 2gm by r square root. Okay, using this formula we can calculate the escape velocity for the Earth or some other planet. So where the capital G is the universal gravitational constant, m is the mass of the planet, r is the radius. But here in this question it is asked to you to find the escape velocity in the form of using the acceleration due to gravity. What is the escape velocity? Using the acceleration due to gravity factor. Okay, so we know the acceleration due to gravity small g is equal to capital Gm by r square. Yes or no? How we already discussed how to find this formula, okay, in my previous gravitational video, okay, gravitation video. Okay, so now from this formula we will get capital Gm is equal to small g r square. Okay, so put this value of capital Gm in this formula, so we will get the escape velocity is equal to 2g r square divided by r square root. Okay, so when 1 will be cancelled, we will get 2gr square root. Okay, so what is the escape velocity? The escape velocity is equal to square root of 2gr, where g is the acceleration due to gravity, r is the radius of the planet. So which is the correct answer? Option B is the correct answer. The answer is square root of 2gr. Clear? Our next question is, small g1 and small g2 denotes acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the Earth and on a planet whose mass and radius are twice that of the Earth. Then what is the relation between small g1 and small g2? So recently in the previous question we discussed the what is the formula for the small g. The formula for the small g is capital Gm by r square. This is the formula for the acceleration due to gravity. And what is other things given in our question? The mass and radius of are twice that of the Earth. Another planet is given to you whose mass and radius is twice of the mass of the Earth. So you can write the mass of the other planet. Okay, MP का मतलब है mass of the other planet is equal to twice of the mass of the Earth, and the radius of the other planet is twice of the radius of the Earth. Okay, these two things is given to you. Now we will find out the g1. Now what is g1? Now acceleration due to gravity. Gravity for Earth. Yes or no? It is mentioned to you g1 g2 denotes the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the Earth, and g2 is denotes the acceleration due to gravity on the other planet. So acceleration due to gravity for Earth. So g1 is, according to the formula, what will be the g1? Small g1 is equal to capital G. Capital G is the constant. For mass, what is the mass of the Earth? We will write me. Okay, divided by r radius. Radius of the Earth is re square. Clear? So g1 is capital Gme by re square. Similarly we will go for g2. What is g2? g2 is the acceleration due to gravity for other planet, another planet. Okay, clear? So what will be G2 according to the same formula? So G2 is equal to capital G, universal gravitational constant. It is constant for all objects. Then mass of the planet mp divided by radius of the planet rp whole square. Clear? So you are getting here this formula. Okay, now come to here. Gp, acceleration due to gravity, Gp is equal to capital G capital MP by Rp square. So capital G in the place of MP, just put MP is equal to 2me. So in the place of MP, just write 2me divided by, in the place of Rp, write 2Re whole square. So what will you get? Capital G 2 capital Me divided 2Re whole square is 4Re square. Okay, so what will you get? Just 2 by 4. 2 by 4 when we will cancel, we will get 1 by 2. So take half outside, we will get half capital G Me divide Re square. So if you will observe, you can find that what is this capital G Me Re square. Just relate it. Is half, this value is equal to G1, is equal to G1. Okay, and this Gp is equal to G2. This Gp G2 is equal to Gp. Okay, as it is given to G2 is denotes the acceleration due to gravity on a planet. Okay, so directly you can write here G2 is equal to, okay, G2 and Gp both are same. So what you are finding? G2 is equal to half G1. So what is G1? So G1 is equal to 2G2. Okay, G1 is 2G2. So acceleration due to gravity for the earth is equal to the twice of the acceleration due to gravity on the other planet for this problem. So which is the correct option? Option B is the correct one. Clear? Option B is the correct one. Clear? Next question is, imagine a light planet revolving around a very massive star in circular orbit of radius r with a period of revolution capital T. If the gravitational force of attraction between the planet and the star is proportional to r power minus 5 by 2, then T square is proportional to r cube, r power 7 by 2, r power 3 by 2 or r power 5.75. Okay, so this is a very important question, so just listen carefully. Okay, so it is given to you in the question, a light planet is revolving around a very massive star. A massive star is there and a light planet is revolving around it in a circular orbit. And in my previous question I already discussed, when a planet is revolving around a massive star at equilibrium condition, equilibrium condition, the centripetal force is equal to the gravitational force. Or what is given to gravitational force of attraction. Okay, it is called gravitational force or gravitational force of attraction. So we know the centripetal force the centripetal force, if you will take it is Fc, is equal to the gravitational force Fg. Okay, so what is the formula for the centripetal force? The formula for the centripetal force, we know that Fc is equal to mv square by r, where m is the mass of the object, v is the velocity, okay, r is the radius. Okay, it is the formula for the centripetal force. And what is the formula for the gravitational force of attraction? Fg is equal to capital G, capital M, small m by r square. Okay, these are the two formula for the centripetal force and gravitational force. And at equilibrium condition, the centripetal force is equal to the gravitational force. So just equate these two things. What will you get? Now mv square by r is equal to capital G m m by r square. Okay, but just wait here. It is the general condition. The gravitational force, what is the formula for the gravitational force? Now the gravitational force formula is capital G m m by r square. The F is proportional to, inversely proportional to, here the F for this formula, F proportional to 1 by r square. So otherwise we can write F proportional r power minus 2. Okay, for this formula F inversely proportional to r square, or we can write F directly proportional to r power minus 2. If you will take r square to numerator, you will get r power minus 2. So F directly proportional r minus 2. But for this given question, it is mentioned to you the gravitational force of attraction between the planet and the star is proportional to r power minus 5 by 2. R power minus 5 by 2. So what it is? Now F proportional to r power capital R or small r you may take. So in the place of capital R I taken here small r. So I am continuing with small r. Okay, F power minus 5 by 2. So F directly proportional to r power minus 5 by 2. So you can write F proportional to, inversely proportional to r power 5 by 2. If you will take the r power 5 by 2 the denominator, it will be positive. Okay. Okay. So now we are getting F inversely proportional to 1 by r power 5 by 2. So what the change we will get for this case, for this question? Now in the place of r square we have to put r power 5 by 2. Okay, normally we know F proportional to r power minus 2, but for this question, as it is given to you, the gravitational force of attraction between the planet and the star is proportional to r power minus 5 by 2. So in the place of r square, in the place of 1 by r square, in the place of r square we have to put r power, in the place of r square we have to place r power 5 by 2. All you are clear? All you are clear? So from this we will proceed. Okay, now we will proceed from this step. The centripetal force mv square by r is equal to the gravitational force of attraction capital G mm by r power 5 by 2. So now cancel small f from the both the side. We will get v square by r is equal to capital Gm. We can write r power 1 plus 3 by 2, 5 by 2, 1 plus 3 by 2 is equal to 2 plus 3 by 2 is equal to 5 by 2. Otherwise you can, r is divided here, when you will take it to the, it will be multiplied other side, then you cancel it. It is the process to you can do it like this way also. Okay, so you can r power 5 by 2 you can write like r into r power 3 by 2. I want to show this thing. R power 5 by 2 is equal to r into r power 3 by 2. So r power 1 into r power 3 by 2. So when the power numbers with power is multiplied with same base, then the power will be added. So r power 1 plus 3 by 2, it will be r power 5 by 2. Okay, so in the place of r power 5 by 2, I can write here r into r power 3 by 2. Okay, so now cancel r from the both the side, so we will get v square is equal to capital Gm by r power 3 by 2. Clear? It is the, we are getting the v square velocity. V square is equal to capital G capital M by r power 3 by 2. Okay, but it is asked to you, if the gravitational force of attraction, then T square is proportional to. We have to find what is T square. So what you know, when a star is there and in a circular orbit a planet is revolving around the star, then the planet moves in a circular path. It is asked to you, it is moving in a circular orbit. So total distance covered for one revolution, one rotation, the total distance covered is equal to 2 pi r, and total time taken is the time period. Total time taken is the time period for the one revolution is t. It is asked to you, the period of revolution is capital T. So total time for one revolution is capital T. So total distance covered by total time is your velocity v. Yes or no? Yes or no? So v square is equal to 2 pi r divided by t whole square. So you can write like 4 pi square r square by t square. V square is equal to 4 pi square r square by t square. So here we are getting v square is equal to capital G M by r power 3 by 2. Here we are getting 4 pi r square by capital T square. Just equate these two things. What you are getting? Capital G M by r power 3 by 2 is equal to 4 pi square r square divided by t square. So just cross multiply, what will you get? Capital G M T square is equal to 4 pi square r square into r power 3 by 2. Okay, so capital G capital M T square is equal to 4 pi square r power 2 into r power 3 by 2. So what will be r power? R plus 2 plus 3 by 2. So what is 2 plus 3 by 2? 2 plus 3 by 2, it is 4 plus 3 by 2, it is 7 by 2. Okay, so we are getting here capital G capital M T square is equal to 4 pi square r power 7 by 2. So what is T square? So T square is equal to 4 pi square r power 7 by 2 divided by capital G capital M. This is the formula for the capital T square. This is the formula for the capital T square. Okay. So now you will say that T square is proportional to, it is asked to you in your question, T square is proportional to. So T square, what you are getting? T square is proportional to which factor of r? T square is proportional to square r power 7 by 2. T square is proportional to r power 7 by 2. In the place of capital R, I taken small r. So I am getting the answer in small r, but actually it is capital R. As from the very beginning, in the place of capital R, I taken small r. So which is the correct answer? Option B is the correct one. The T square is proportional to r power 7 by 2. Okay, if you in the place of radius, if you will take capital R, then we will get capital R power 7 by 2. Okay, as from the very beginning I am taking small r, so I am getting here small r. Okay, all you are clear? Here we got v square value, here we will got v square value, then I equate the both the things. From this I got the v square value is capital Gm by r power 3 by 2. From this situation I get the v square is equal to this. Then I equate both the things. From here I get this one, from here I get this one. Then after equating I get the formula for the t square, and from the formula for the t square I get the relation t square is proportional to r power 7 by 2. All you are clear? This is a very important problem. Okay, just keep it in mind, all these things. Our next question is, a hole is drilled along the earth's diameter and a stone is dropped into it. When the stone is at the center of the earth, it has mass, weight, acceleration or potential energy. What it has? It is asked to you. And in my previous video I already discussed with you, at the center of the earth the acceleration due to gravity small g is equal to 0. Yes or no? You remember it? Yes or no? Okay. So at the center of earth the acceleration due to gravity small g is equal to 0. Okay. So it is asked to you in the question, a hole is drilled along the earth's diameter and stone is dropped into it. When the stone is at the center of the earth, now the stone is at center of the earth. So the stone has the acceleration due to gravity small g value is equal to 0, and we know the weight W is equal to m into g. M into g, it has some mass, but acceleration due to gravity is 0. So m into 0, we will get 0. Clear? Then acceleration A is equal to g. Acceleration is equal to the acceleration due to gravity, and g is equal to 0. Okay. Then potential energy, the potential energy P is equal to, we know, mgh. Okay, mgh, and m into h, if you will take, it has some height, okay, or depth you can say. Then g is equal to 0, so it will be 0. So the weight is 0, so it does not have weight. Okay, its acceleration is also 0, so it has no acceleration. Its potential is also 0, so it has no potential. So what it has? It is asked to you what it has. It has only mass, because where you can go, in every places you have your mass. Mass will not change. Okay, mass is constant. Weight changes because it depends upon the acceleration due to gravity factor. Okay, W is mg, so mass into acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration due to gravity value changes from place to place, so weight is changes from place to place, but the mass is constant. So at the center of the earth the stone has its mass, okay, but it has no weight, it has no acceleration, it has no potential energy. Clear? Next question, two bodies of masses m1 and m2 fall from height h1 and h2 respectively. The ratio of their velocities when they hit the ground is. So to solve this question you have to know about the equation of motion. Okay, we know the equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Okay, v square minus u square is equal to 2as, and it is asked to you the bodies of mass m1 and m2 fall from height h1 and h2. So fall means from height it is fall, that means its initial velocity is equal to 0. Yes or no? It fall from a height, that means its initial velocity is 0. Okay, clear? For the both the cases, both mass m1 and m2 are fall from a height, so for the both the cases u is equal to 0. So if you put u is equal to 0 in this above equation, we will get v square is equal to 2as, and they both are comes under the free fall case. When we will fall an object from a height, then the body will move with acceleration is equal to the acceleration due to gravity. So here the acceleration is equal to g. So we can write the formula like v square is equal to 2g s. S is the displacement. For this case, s is the height you can take. So for the first object, if we will think for the first object m1, okay, the velocity v1 square is equal to 2g, and s is the displacement, and for the first object s is equal to the displacement equal to the height h1. For the first object is dropped from a height h1. The first object is dropped from a height h1. So for the first object the displacement is h1. So for first object, now we are calculating for first body. Okay, for first body v1 square is equal to 2g h1. Okay, then for second body v2, the velocity for the first body it is velocity is v1. So for the second body the velocity is v2. If you will put in this formula again, v2 square is equal to 2g s. S means displacement for the second object. Displacement for the second object is h2. Displacement is equal to the height h2. So v2 square is equal to 2g s2 square, and v1 square is equal to 2g h1. v1 square is equal to 2g h1, v2 square is equal to 2g h2. Now it is asked to you the ratio of their velocities. The ratio of their velocity is v1 square divided by v2 square is equal to 2g h1 by 2g h2. So v1 by v2 whole square you can take is equal to 2g cancel, so h1 by h2. Okay, so v1 by v2 ratio is equal to h1 by h2 square root. Okay, so what is the ratio of their velocities v1 and v2? h1 square root of h1 by h2. Okay, so option A is the correct one. All you are clear? Next question is the weight of the body at the earth surface is w. At the depth halfway to the center of earth it will be at a half distance from the center, from surface to center at a half distance. What will be the weight? It is asked to you. So normally we know the formula of weight w is equal to mg, but on the surface of the earth it is correct. But when you will move at a depth halfway to the center of the earth, the g is not g, the g will change. When we will move inside the depth, so the small g value will decrease. We already discussed in my previous videos. The g value decreases with altitude and decreases with depth. So when we will go to the depth, how the acceleration due to gravity varies? What is the formula? I already discussed with you. The acceleration due to gravity at a depth, the acceleration due to gravity at a depth x. एक क्वेश्चन था ऐसे कुछ, वो क्वेश्चन को दिखाने के लिए मैं बताया था. ओके, acceleration due to gravity at a depth x from the surface of earth g x dash is equal to g into 1 minus x by r. Okay, so So g into when the distance depth, the length of the depth is x and r is the radius. Okay, you can take it is g dash. Okay, g dash is equal to g 1 minus x by r. Okay, when x is the depth. So as here it is asked to you, if it is asked to you what is the weight of the body on the surface of the surface of the earth, then the weight formula is W is equal to mg. But it is asked to you the weight at depth, so you have to calculate the acceleration due to gravity at depth. So weight at depth, that means W dash. Okay, W is the weight, W is the weight on the surface of the earth, on the surface of earth. Okay, but when we will go to the depth, the weight W dash is equal to mg dash, and where g dash is the acceleration due to gravity at depth x from the surface of the earth. Okay, so first calculate g dash. For this question, it is asked to you at depth halfway to the center of the earth. When if you will take it is at the earth and this is your center, from the surface to the center, this distance is your r. This distance is r. It is the surface of the earth, from the surface of the earth to the center of the earth. The distance is r, and it is asked to you halfway of the center. Halfway, it's half. Its half is r by 2. Its half means r by 2. Okay. So for this question, according to your question, this x is r by 2. The depth is half of the center of the earth. Center of the earth means the radius of the earth. Okay, so r by 2. So put it in the above formula. We will get g dash is equal to g into 1 minus r by 2 divided by r. So when you will solve, what will you get? G dash is equal to, just take the LCM r. What will you get? R minus r by 2. Okay, if you take LCM r divided by 1, r into r is equal to r minus r by 2. So g dash is equal to g into r minus r by 2 is equal to r by 2 divided by r. So you can write g dash is equal to g into r by 2 divided by r into multiplied by 1 by r. So r cancel, so half. So g dash is equal to g into half. So we can write g dash is equal to g by 2. G dash is equal to g by 2. Now come to our formula. Weight of the body at the depth. Okay, at depth, weight of the body at some depth. Okay, weight of the body at some depth is equal to mass of the body into acceleration due to gravity at that depth. Okay, फॉर्मूला ऐसे बन जाएगा, W dash is equal to mg dash. Weight of the body at some depth is equal to mass of that body into acceleration due to gravity at that depth. At that depth. Okay, वो डेप्थ में acceleration due to gravity जितना है उसके साथ हम मास को मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं तो वेट मिल जाएगा. ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ वेट देखेंगे तो क्या होगा ना, मास ऑफ द बॉडी इंटू एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ, जो कि ये फॉर्मूला था. ओके, सो नाउ W डैश इज इक्वल टू m into g dash. W dash is equal to m. What is the value of g dash? The value of g dash we got g by 2. So g by 2. So W dash is equal to mg by 2. So what is mg? We know mg is equal to w. Mg is equal to w. So W dash is equal to w by 2. W dash is equal to w by 2. This is your answer. So which option is correct? Option B is the correct one. Option B is the correct one. W dash, the new weight of the body at depth halfway to the center of the earth, is W by 2. Clear? Next question. The distance of two planets from the sun are 10 to the power 23 and 10 to the power 12 meter respectively. The ratio of the time period of these planets is. So distance is given to you. That means distance means two planets from the sun. Sun is there. Okay, and two planets distance is given to you. One is 10 to the power 12, another is 10 to the power, it is 10 to the power 12, and another is 10 to the power 23. That means distance of the planet from the sun is given to you. That means what are these? These are the radius of the orbit. These are the radius of their orbits. Okay, clear? So now come to our problem. Radius of the orbit is given to you and it is asked to you find the ratio of their time period or time taken for the revolution, which is called time period. Ratio is asked to you. So all you know, the square of the period time period taken for one revolution, or which is called time period. Okay, time taken for one revolution, which is called time period, t, the square of t square is proportional to the r cube, radius of the orbit, cube of the radius of the orbit. T square is directly proportional to r cube. The square of the time period is directly proportional to the cube of the radius of the orbit. Okay, you should have to know this relation. You will say, how you get this relation? A similar way as we discussed in the previous question, at equilibrium, when the planets are revolving around the sun at equilibrium condition, the centripetal force is equal to the gravitational force. Centripetal force is equal to gravitational force. So what is centripetal force? The centripetal force Fc, if you will take, the gravitational force Fg, if you will take, the centripetal force is mv square by r and the gravitational force is capital G mm by r square. Okay, so if you cancel r from the both the side and m from both the side, what you will get? Now v square is equal to capital G m by r. Then again, when a planet is revolving around the sun, in a circular orbit, okay, so we know the velocity is equal to distance traveled by time. So if you will consider for one revolution, for one revolution of the planet around the sun, the total distance covered is equal to 2 pi r, and time taken is called the period of time, duration of time taken for one revolution is called the time period t. Okay, period of revolution is called t. So v square is equal to square of the velocity is equal to 2 pi r divided by t whole square. So v square is equal to 4 pi square r square divided by t square. Okay, so here we are getting v square is equal to capital Gm by r. Here we are getting v square is equal to 4 pi r square by t square. Just equate these two things. Equate this. From here v square we are getting capital Gm by small r, and here we are getting the v square is equal to 4 pi square r square divided by t square. Just cross multiply. What will you get? Now Gm into t square is equal to 4 pi square r square into r. So capital G m t square is equal to 4 pi square r square into r is equal to r cube. Okay, so t square is equal to 4 pi square r cube divided by capital Gm. So this is the formula for the square of the time period. Square of the time period. So if you observe this formula, what you are getting? The t square is directly proportional to r cube. If you observe this formula, what you are getting? The t square, when you will increase the value of r cube, the t square value will increase. Yes or no? From this formula, we are getting the t square is related to with r cube directly. So t square is direct proportional to r cube. The t square is direct proportional to r cube. All are clear how we got this formula? Okay. So according using this formula, we will proceed to solve this problem. Okay. All are clear how we got this formula? And remember this thing, for different problem you will use this relation. The square of the time period is directly proportional to the cube of the radius of the orbit. Okay. Now we will go for our question. So the distance of the two planets from the sun are 10 to the power 23 and 10 to the power 12 meter respectively. The ratio of the time period. So t1 square by t2 square is equal to r1 cube. As t square is direct proportional to r cube, I can write like this. Now t1 square is t1, when direct proportional, the ratios are equal. The ratios are equal, and we can write like this. Okay. When they are inversely proportional, their multiplications are equal, their products are equal, and when they are directly proportional, their ratios are same. Okay, their ratios are same. So t1 square by t2 square is equal to, their ratio will same. That means t1 square by r1 cube is equal to t2 square by rt cube. Okay, just take t to this place and move r cube to this place, then you will get the relation, this relation. Okay, when they are direct proportional, we know when x directly proportional to y, then x by y is equal to constant. Okay, so the ratio is same. So as t and r are, t square is equal directly proportional to r cube, so t1 square by r1 cube is equal to t2 square is equal to r2 cube. Then according to the cross multiplication, take t2 to this place and move r1 to this place. So after that you will get this relation. Okay, so for direct proportional factors you can write like this. Okay, now so in the place of r1, what is the radius is given to you? 10 to the power 23 whole cube divided by 10 to the power 12 whole cube. So it is 10 to the power 23 whole cube means 10 to the power 3 3s are 9, 3 2 6 9 divided by 10 to the power 12 into 3 36. Okay, if we take to the numerator, if you take the denominator to the numerator, what will you get? 10 to the power 69 minus 36 you will get 29 4 33. Okay, Hmm. 9 minus 6 is equal to 3, 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. Okay. Then, now we are getting square by t2 square 10 to the power 33. Then t1 by t2 whole square is equal to 10 to the power 33. Just take the square root. What will you get? T1 by T2 is equal to 2 into half square root. Square root means power multiplied with half. In this side also multiply half, then 33 by 2, it will be cancelled. So T1 by 2 10 to the power 33 divided by 2, and options are not given to you here. That means some wrong is there. Okay, question wrong है due to some the question, if you will change it, 10 to the power 13. Okay, if you will change it 10 to the power 23 को हम 13 कर देंगे तो ये हो जाएगा. ओके, एक क्वेश्चन थोड़ा गलत है. ये जो 10 टू द पावर 23 है उसको कर दो 10 टू द पावर 13. ओके, देन इट कैन बी इजीली सॉल्व. ओके, आई थिंक क्वेश्चन गलत है. ओके, now we will go. So T1 by T2 whole square is equal to R1 by R2 whole cube. So R1 is given to you 10 to the power 13 and R2 is given to you 10 to the power 12. So 10 to the power 13 divided by 10 to the power 12 or whole cube. Okay, so when you move 10 to the power 12 to the numerator, what will you get? 10 to the power 13 minus 12 power 3. So 10 to the power 1 power 3, which is 10 to the power 3. Okay, so we are getting T1 by T2 whole square is equal to 10 to the power 3. Then T1 by T2 is equal to 10 to the power 3 square root. Square root means it will be power multiplied with half. So 10 to the power 3 by 2. So we can write like this: 10 root 10, 10 power 1, 10 root 10. उसका मीनिंग क्या है? 10 power 1 into 10 to the power half. So 10 to the power 1 plus half, which is 10 to the power 3 by 2. Okay, so 10 to the power 3 by 2 is equal to 10 root 10. So option B is the correct answer. Okay, option B is the correct answer. वो जो क्वेश्चन 10 to the power 23 था उसको 13 कर देने से ये हो जाएगा, सॉल्व हो जाएगा. ओके, all you are clear now? So thank you for listening for today's this much. Keep preparation. Okay, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.